I'm Miles.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Aaron.
Welcome to
The
Podpad.
Oh, something happened.
Oh. That was
Oh, yeah.
Woody whoop. Oh, okay, that was a little rough.
Yeah, I don't know.
Click. Boom. Second podcast, number 2, now the poop.
All right. Today we're going to talk about social media and its effects on us as a society and as individuals. I'm going to start off by saying some quotes that I pulled from a movie called The Social Dilemma, which I think are very on topic, and you can interpret them as you want. I just thought it'd be a good way to start. Nothing vast enters the world of man without a curse. Sophocles. If you are not paying for the product, then surely you are the product. Only 2 industries call their customers users: illegal drugs and software industries. The product being sold as capital in this new market is the gradual, slight, imperceptible change of your own behavior and your own perception. That is the product that social media companies sell today in your information. All right, so any take on those quotes?
What was the second quote again? I want to hear the second quote. I like that one.
You're talking about if you are not paying for the product, surely you are the product.
Maybe it was the first one then.
Nothing vast enters the world of man without a curse.
Without a curse. Yeah, I like that. I like the curse thing.
Yeah, man. That's
Do you feel like social media is like a curse on us? Do you think like we are part of the curse?
Sword.
A double-edged
At the end
sword.
of the day, yeah.
You could turn it off.
So yeah, social media is definitely a double-edged sword, but at the end of the day, we keep going back to it because, as Miles was telling me, it's an addiction like no other, and it's very true. From that quote, he had said it as well. We constantly need to communicate. We constantly have that desire to see what everybody's doing. We want to be with our friends, even though we're sitting on our couch. During the pandemic, that's happened a lot more.
Can I say one thing?
Right.
It also teaches us, like, whenever we have an uncomfortable moment or a moment where we don't know how to occupy our time, we need to jam our face in that phone and get that light right in us, get that stimulus. I noticed it with the younger generations. They can't just sit quietly or sit in line. They got to have that phone in their face every second of their life. And it's like, what's the impact on that? It's.
I don't know. You think about. I think this is Kanye West. I was watching a Kanye West interview, and he was talking about cigarette breaks and like how the new cigarette break is social media.
Wow.
You go on your break, right, and you go, but you got to think about what happened when you were on a break, on a cigarette break, right? You show up, you're already in this brotherhood. Everyone there smokes. You could ask for a lighter. You're already in the group. They'll give it to you. It's a brotherhood, and that's like a real thing. There's people in front of you at the cigarette break. But now, the social media break, you're just all by yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Isolation bubble, man. Noam Chomsky. You know?
And you could tune out, but like you just say, like the double-edged sword. Like, what is that thing that's pulling you back in? You know, what is that?
The want to be a part of everything all at once.
Yeah,
'Cause
man.
we're all overstimulated as it is,
Yeah.
and it's like that. Like Jacob
Social approval.
will have
man.
a phone watching
Approval,
a YouTube
yeah.
video while he's trying to play the PlayStation. I'm
It's like I like the word like a communication renaissance, like a rebirth
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
communication, and you could talk to anyone. You could talk to someone in like Japan, China, whatever, but
you're never fully away from anyone.
Yeah.
everyone's always
You need
always
to be
connected.
connected all the time.
That's what I was, like the
24/7.
Terminator show I was talking about last
Yeah.
time. It's like it's
Yeah.
for real. It's right here. It's just, you're just sucked in.
That's very weird because in that movie I was just mentioning, The Social Dilemma, that was the analogy. You said everybody thinks it's going to be like Terminator, robots with guns, and that. And it's going to be behind your back, sneakily.
Stupid. It's
Yeah.
like turning people stupid. They don't know how to
Yeah.
cook, or not cook, but they don't know how to grow food. Like where is the produce? It's not anywhere around. It's so like
Yeah.
they put us over there. You know, like you can't even think about where. It
I know
is.
the thing we're thinking of, social capital. That's like your approval and your like.
It's
your
money. Well, capital means
Yeah.
like monetary amount, and that
Yeah.
doesn't have to be money. It could be like worth. It could
Yeah,
be,
exactly.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like your reputation, it's your social capital.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be money. Isn't that weird? Now
Yeah.
it could be clout. Like you could have
Yes.
like 1 million followers.
And that's why
And, like,
everybody
if-
posts everything they do.
Yeah.
That's why they do stupid stuff. I mean, Jackass really brought the stupid stuff into full
Yeah.
effect.
Jackass was the shit.
They kicked the doors wide open with a firecracker in their ass.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, didn't you guys have like when this digital media started? Don't you got like that stuff?
Oh,
Or,
you're
like,
talking about the statistic of when...
No. Like the first social media.
Yeah, I actually,
thing. Don't you
I,
got
Yeah,
that?
that's
I
Justin.
did some research on it.
Yeah, I want to hear about that.
So the first online social media was actually called 6 Degrees. It was named after 6 degrees of separation of the 6 degrees separation theory, which
Actually
states that
explain it.
everyone in the world is connected to everyone else by no more than 6 degrees of separation. Which is
like
how
6 people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got you.
like no 6 degrees of
Yeah.
separation. So you're no like
Yeah, like one connection to another, like my
Yeah.
friend.
Within
and a friend
6
of a friend.
people, you know
Yeah,
somebody.
exactly.
Right.
yeah okay,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's what I thought. I don't know. And what year was that in?
That was in.
If you don't got it, I got you.
Because I want to know like the history, like you guys like, and I love that like we start here.
Yeah.
All right. Because
It was
anyway,
officially launched in 1997.
So
Wow.
what was
Lasted
AOL?
till
No,
about
no,
2001.
Hold on. What was AOL then? Like with the You Got Mail? Like was that?
Oh,
before-
AOL Messenger?
that was
you don't
an
think
email.
that so that's not social media to you? It's not.
I mean,
or it is.
That was still after though. That was like 2001. That AOL
Was
Messenger.
it?
Yeah.
Want to look it up?
I don't know.
That's
Well,
what
I
I'm
don't know.
doing,
No,
yeah.
I didn't look it up. I have no idea. I'm
Yeah.
just
Just,
wondering.
I did a
so
clumsy
this
mistake.
was before AOL.
Yeah.
96.
From the research
Well, I don't
I
know.
did,
I
yeah.
have no idea when AOL was. What?
Wi-Fi.
Well, it's Benjamin, the cat.
Yeah.
Remember last time? And now
everyone knows-
now everybody's gonna pull in front of my house.
Everybody knows this is
I gotta
Wi-Fi.
change it now.
Should have wrote it down, man.
No, so yeah, so like, okay, but anyways, forget about the date. But so we got like AOL. Would you consider that social media? So this
Yes.
was before that.
Yeah, technically.
And then like,
I mean,
so,
emailing, I guess, would technically
What do you
be-
think about like Atari or something like a digital game that would like bring people together? Would you consider that like social media? The media would be like the game, like Atari. You know,
No, I would say that's,
That's
a
still like
social
a-
gathering because you're
that's-
getting together.
AOL 1997 as well.
so
Wow.
oh no, it was a year later, right? 96 was
Yeah.
the other one.
Yeah.
So
No, it was
AOL
97.
Oh, they were the
Launched
same.
in 97.
They were probably partner companies or something. I bet
Like
you.
2
watched
week
that shit.
difference. They
Somebody
both had the same idea.
The AIM guy came running out with the fucking. You remember him?
Yeah.
No, you guys don't actually.
No, I
Okay.
actually used
All right,
it
all right,
when I
cool,
was
cool,
really
cool.
young. When I used to play RuneScape.
We used to
believe
do
it or
some
not.
foul shit on AOL AIM instant message.
Right.
Your away message. That was your shit. Like, why aren't you at the computer right now? I think that's when it first started being
Jing.
like. It started first. We're like, why aren't you at the computer? Well, because I can't fucking sit at the computer all day. But now it's in our fucking hands and shit, right?
It's
So
in
we-
our
pockets
so we
all
do.
the time.
That happened in
And if
so
it's not there, we feel
97,
weird.
97 to 2001. I don't know how many years is that? 24 or something. That's like
No,
that's
97 to 2001. That's 4 years.
2021.
Four.
2021.
2021.
No, to right now I meant.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
messed up the
Yeah,
date.
okay.
I don't know. But so like 20 years ago, we
Yeah.
we were riding our bikes. No, but I would say like so. Let's define social.
Oh yeah,
what-
you were
what- social media.
Yeah.
Social media. Let's define it. Like media is like the medium you use to be social, right?
Yeah.
So like Atari, like I'm saying, like Atari was this digital thing that you could like associate people, and then I started thinking like, is it like Dice? Like the first Dice game, was that like the social media that brought people together? And then
Right.
like I even went even further back, like the Parthenon and like the Colosseum, when people would like fight to the death, and it was just like this. The media of social was everybody watching this. The two people kill each other, right? So like.
Yes.
Then, like, I thought, like, wait, hold on. Where did this, like, so even back then, people wanted to be together.
Yes.
I think the difference now is, like, it's digital. But think about, like, 9,000 years ago, like, before we could talk to each other, before there was, like, a language, and, like, we were this hunters and gatherers, and there was, like, somebody figured out how to do a bonfire, right? Like, that was, like, the party, right? You
Yeah.
see the smoke, you could smell it. No, you can't even talk to the people, but you're there hanging out, and you're like, and like
That brings me to a good point that I want to make is that's how we evolved, is to be
Right.
around a campfire. That was the only
9,000 years
social
ago.
approval we were meant to deal with.
that was the
It's-
media, those fire.
Yeah. And now we're putting ourselves before thousands or 10,000 because you don't see everybody looking at you. And we're
I
not
didn't
designed
consider
for that.
I had never considered that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not designed for that because there's this thing, okay, it was a
We are
concept.
designed for the outside though, and this brings us all inside
Yeah.
because before it was a phone, it was a computer.
Right.
So you had to be in the house to use it. Now you could be outside and do it, but you're not seeing many people just go outside to play on
But
the
I
phone.
want to say this before
To go talk to somebody, they're just like, I'll just lay on my bed.
Too
Go ahead,
far.
sorry.
But when you interact socially, there is dopamine and serotonin release, so it's kind of addictive, and it's
I'm glad
like,
you looked this up. I'm so
Yeah.
glad. Yes.
and it's kind of
Wait, say it one more time. I wasn't paying attention.
There's dopamine and serotonin release, and
That's
those
in
are like
drugs,
pleasure molecules in your
That's
brain.
what
to
drugs get
simplify
to
them.
in your body.
Yeah,
That make you happy.
And it's we evolved. This is the theory. Okay, I'll look up who presented the theory, but I know it from
Just go, man.
Swiss
We can
school.
look it up later.
Is that we evolved this mechanism in our brain to survive as a species like other animals do, because it becomes instinctual because of the pleasure-pain balance. You get what I'm saying? But when you're on these social media, you're running that machine in your brain, which is your
You're way
gland.
over. Yeah.
And you're running it out, just like overdoing
So you get
drugs.
exhausted. You get
Yeah.
exhausted.
Yeah, you do.
And people
You know,
don't realize
but I don't
that.
know. So you think the exhaustion comes from the dopamines that got released?
Yeah,
And
the dopamine and serotonin, because think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. You're getting light, which also causes that exchange, and also social approval and other feelings because you're interacting.
You think that's why everybody's
I think
getting anxiety
that's
and
looking at
depression?
it. I think that's looking at it from a way of like someone that's happy with social media though, because I'm sure there's people that have social media where like they're like, why isn't this person my friend? No one hits me up or nothing, you know. So I think there's like this other side that
I
it's
agree
like
as well.
it could be
Yeah.
hurting people too. Like as much as it could
That's
make
what I'm
that
saying.
one person who has a million followers have clout or whatever, it could make that guy that's only got like his mom, dad, and his aunt as his friends.
Exactly.
Like and then like what worth is that really? And same thing with money. Like what
Virtual worth.
yeah, virtual worth. It's not Bitcoin, right? That shit.
Clout.
Apparently,
That's
Bitcoin
all
went
it
up
is.
through the roof again. That's what I heard. Last I heard.
Up and down.
I wish I had some of that stock.
Right?
But
Should've gotten
there was
it
actually.
early.
Oh, you know what I did know about? I wanted to bring this up because I think it was at an Apple iPhone China place, like where they put the chips. It's in China. So the people that work there were like, they just did that all day, and like so they didn't want to do that no more because they didn't have no other choice. They would like jump off the roof to like kill themselves to like get away
You're
from
talking
that.
Foxconn.
I'm not sure what it's called, but
It's
so
Foxconn.
anyways, instead of like trying to make the environment better for the workers, they put nets up
Yeah,
around the
Foxconn.
building. So
Yeah,
that
I
like
heard about
so when
that,
they
yeah.
jump off the roof, making our iPhone that we look at all day, right? Because they have to be in this factory all day. Now, in the Industrial Revolution in America, there was like children sleeping in the factories too, and they were like working in the factories all day. There was this thing called the work day, where you can only work when it's sunlight out because there wasn't electricity. So when it got fucking dark. You couldn't work no more, and that became like how long you could work. So the kids would be in the factory all day. Kids like losing hands, arms, legs. That's why there's so much different like child labor laws in America, but it's not like that in China. I know I got off track again. Let's get back to social media. It was the iPhone though. It was
Yeah.
iPhone though. It was the iPhone though.
But hold on, it does tie in because
It does.
social media, it manipulates you with your ads and what you want, and that
Right.
iPhone is causing that indirectly. So I like,
So people are jumping
It's
off the
the
roof because of the shit.
algorithms that are
Right,
causing it.
because-
People are dying because we're on social media, right?
I mean, technically,
I mean, if you think
you
about
could draw
like,
that conclusion.
right? And then, who is it really bringing together? I want to know, like, you know,
it brings people together.
It does. It does. Think like
Maybe
I don't
people
know about
you
you
shouldn't
guys,
see,
but
but
I'll
I
get
don't know.
requests from kids I haven't seen or talked to since high school, and it's kind of
Yeah.
cool to catch up with them because you might not just see that person
Right,
out on
right,
the
right.
street or at a store.
I wonder who wonders about me. I guess.
Yeah.
I wonder. I'd be wondering.
I mean, it's helped me personally too because I have friends in Quebec, and I that's one of the primary modes of communication with them is through Messenger.
yeah. I know. Well, I like took myself off like last year. It was like too much. There was like this like I kept like I would like death scroll where I'm just like scrolling for hours and hours and just sit there and like it was like so overstimulated. I get anxiety and like it was just so much for me. I would like have like I had to turn it off. Like people could always reach me. It made me feel like so like
Yeah.
So when did you quit like Facebook? Like when did you?
It was like almost a year ago, I
Almost
think.
a year ago?
Today, yeah. Well, not today, but almost. It's somewhere in there. But yeah, I don't know.
It's weird because it's like
I feel
tried.
way better. Now.
I've tried to get off Facebook a few times. Like I
Yeah.
just delete the account and delete the app, and it's like all right, whatever.
Yeah, it's
And
helped.
then some reason I'm like, damn, I kind of miss seeing the memes. And I'm like, oh,
Well, I got IG, I got Instagram, so
Yeah,
I got a lot of memes. What's
I find
IG
all
without
mine
the
through
memes?
Facebook.
Right?
I find a couple through Instagram, just not many. Twitter's my favorite spot to
But yeah,
find
I mean,
things.
so like it's like what I was bringing up about the Chinese thing. There's like this race to like buy things cheaper. So like
Yeah.
it's cheaper to make an iPhone in China where people are jumping off the fucking roof than like make it here where like because someone would have to get a union job working at Apple probably, who knows. I think it's funny that they're like it's designed in Copaternia or however you say that California place. I'm sorry, no disrespect. But designed there and made in China. Like that's on the iPhone.
Speaking of California,
no disrespect.
speaking of California, I just want to hit you with this. You know of Silicon Valley, right? Where all the tech industries are
Yeah,
based,
yeah,
all the
yeah.
social media
Sure, who
companies
wouldn't
are
want to
based.
be on the beach?
Think about this. 50 people control all those social media apps that are predominant, like your TikTok,
Hell
Facebook,
yeah.
YouTube.
For real? It's only that much?
50 people make the decisions of what information you view, how you see it, and how it's presented. And they're influenced and sell your information to other governments or top bidders. How does that make you feel that 50 people in the world in Silicon Valley are
Makes
making
me
those
feel
decisions?
like,
for you?
you
makes
know
me
what
feel
I-
like
like
that
this-
like you were talking about earlier with your quotes from the Social Dilemma.
Yeah.
Like that addictive, like I'm the user.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's
Oh,
like
the
because
user,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
willing
Only
to
two
go on
industries call their
like
customers
tomorrow or
users.
tonight.
That was
even-
the one maybe I
Yeah.
wanted to hear, guys. I messed up whichever number quote it was.
Only two
I love the quote.
industries call their customers users. Illegal drugs and software industries.
Yes.
Right.
And it makes me feel like that illegal drug user, even if
Yeah.
it's not illegal, it just makes me feel like an addict to this thing that I'm just selling all my information to.
And also this.
Wait. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, there was another great quote I just remembered now. When software started, it was creative and it was a tool. We've moved from a tool-based technology society to a manipulative, financial-based society as far as internet means. And the effect it's having on everything is ridiculous. And I just want
We
to
have the most technology in the world, and like something that fits in your hand. Like the most technology in the world, it fits in your hand, and we're using it to death scroll.
There's
like,
more
so I
technology
see
in
what you're
this thing
saying.
than they had-
I
what
see
was it,
what
from
you're
the
saying.
moon
Like it's
landing?
just like we
First
have
moon
all
landing?
the technology possible right here
Yeah.
in our hand, and we're not using it. Like you know, I had some. Actually, I had some.
I have
It
a good
says-
quote while you look at that. Computer processing power since the invention of the first processor has upgraded a quadrillion times in processing power. No technology ever in history of anything has been upgraded to that significance. And to put that into context with how these things do the algorithms for the machine does the algorithm for you, it's not a person deciding what you scroll. It's a computer that has computing power that is a quadrillion
So
times.
it's AI. Wait, so the AI is what sends you ads, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it knows
artificial intelligence.
Yes.
AI.
But that's just because they're selling your
they got-
information. So if
but-
you're on
but, like,
Google and you
here's
type
the thing.
in
Here's the thing, though. Like,
Ferraris, your
they-
Facebook's gonna be like, oh, hey,
it seemed like
He likes
when
Ferraris.
you said these 50 people got our information and they're selling it, like.
if you choose to
But
give
but
it to
like
them.
but no, I mean I guess yeah, but there's so much information. There's so much like that would be like how could they sift through all that? They can't be doing. It
They
seemed,
are.
It seemed like you were doing something negative to it, but like what possibly could they negative? There's so much information.
I can tell you what is negative. They decide what you see on your feed, okay? So they can influence the ads or what certain posts you see. And now I mentioned this before about how in Myanmar they had this thing called Facebook Basics. It's where it was a program. Facebook went in there and they provided internet services, like they did a contract with certain cell phone companies there, and you could get Facebook as a free thing on the phone, and you don't
it
have
already
to pay.
comes installed with it.
Yep, you don't have to pay for anything extra. It's free. So a lot of people just use that because they're poor or they just want the Facebook.
Poor,
so that's
yeah.
the only information they view, and it ended up leading to this genocide where thousands of people were killed because of misinformation purposely sent by the Myanmar government and paid for in ad revenue and such.
Just like in the United States in 2016, they use social media to help sway the election.
Yeah, like Trump contracted Britannica.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an encyclopedia company, and one of the things they do is they buy information from social media accounts, and then they do, it's not backdoor, it's legal. They do these deals where they say, give these ads and tailor them to these certain people. And it's different for each person.
Yeah, it's niche shit. It's
Yeah,
whatever
and
you,
Trump-
whatever. That brings
That's
me to
how
a
he
great
won.
thing. Wait, let me tell you this. So like in our parents' generation, Chelsea looked this up the other night. Remember, she looked up the age differences.
Oh, yeah, the
it was like
millennial.
65 ends the baby boomers, or 64 ends the baby boomers, and then then what are they after that? It was Gen something.
No,
But anyways,
millennial.
the millennials. No, there was something in between. Like it was between where my dad is and where I am, because he's after the baby boomers. The millennials was like 84
Generation Y,
until.
maybe? I don't know.
But anyway, so
Is it
It's Gen Z.
Gen Z.
No, X.
No,
Gen X.
Gen X, and then we're Gen
Y.
Y, which is the millennials.
Yes.
And then there's Gen Z, which are the little kids who are trying to cancel culture everything.
Yes.
Not all
But anyways,
Gen Z, but most.
Most
no,
of
but
them.
remember what you were saying, like how does it seem like they want to like dumb it down though? Like, are they trying to dumb it down?
What do you mean,
know,
exactly?
Like you all got the information, so like they're selling your information. We're death scrolling. They're giving us our ads. Like, I don't know. See, I wanted to say that we use intelligent sounding words instead of being intelligent, but it was like it only led back to what we were saying. It's like when we got off topic, I was like, "Fuck," but I threw it in anyways. Got you.
Got it.
No, I totally forgot what I said. But so you said there's like 50 people that own like the social media.
It's
thing.
not
No,
just
no.
50
I was
people,
doing.
but I'm just
I did
saying
like
in
dating.
general.
I did dating. Dating website research and Match, the organization, whatever it is, the
Match.com?
group, the Match group or whatever, they own 45 of the dating companies, which is like Tinder, OkCupid, Hinge, Plenty of Fish. They own like all of them, and like Bumble, there's actually a lady that owns Bumble, and like, but she's like one of the only people that own her own one, where like the Match group owns most of the other ones. And like I wonder, like with the Facebook and Twitter and all them, and like whatever's gonna be next, TikTok, Snapchat. Does everybody own that too, or are all them separate? And like, because with the dating app platform, that's kind of weird that like one company group has to have like
A monopoly.
45 different dating
I
apps.
mean,
Like
it's a
how
monopoly.
much are they trying to read? Like,
I mean,
like,
Google
I wonder if
and
they own
YouTube are
Farmers Only,
together.
right? They got Farmers Only on there. Which one got Farmers Only? It's probably some redneck. Shit, now he did the laugh thing. Talking about Farmers Only and shit.
Oh,
No, but I wanted to do better research because I read this article about dating websites, and it was saying how much more money they were making since the pandemic happened because people can't like socially go out and meet.
Now everybody's at home scrolling on their phone all day.
Yeah, so this
Which
number.
is they're just
isolation
selling.
bubble.
That's why these people are probably rich as hell. Whoever's selling our information left and right because everybody's scrolling. I mean, have you
Yeah.
guys noticed an ad
don't know.
increase?
I don't know.
I feel like
I'm not
every
on it.
couple,
I'm not on it.
every couple scrolls, it's fucking ad. No, even on Instagram, I noticed it.
I get
Like, every
on
couple
my,
posts
on my
and-
Instagram, it's all just like weird spiritual habitual quotes. This is like the weirdest quote you could imagine. Like I don't get any like other pictures or anything on Instagram.
Really?
It's just all your
Do you Google
horoscope
a lot?
of today. No,
See, that's why-
I use the iPhone one, the Safari.
Safari.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's
but
not
you
hooked up
Google
to no
so
shit.
when you.
No, no. Google Chrome is Google.
Oh, yeah.
I go on that one for some different shit. Like I got passwords saved on my Google account, so I like go, but usually I use Safari. But I don't have it connected to nothing, and it's cool being off everything. I thought these numbers were going to be different, but it said 48% of the people using dating websites. This is from February 2020, off like some fact tank Pew research place. 48% were 18 to 29-year-olds. 38% were 30 to 49-year-olds. And 16% were over 50. And I just thought those numbers would be like higher for like older people. Like divorce is like
Right.
got to be on the rise or something, right? I don't know.
Especially with the pandemic.
Everybody's just home with their wife. Like I gotta get a divorce. It's over.
I can't
we
go to work. I
We
gotta
can't
go.
live together.
I've been off
I
work
gotta
for
work
a year. Time to go.
All right. I'm so curious what you've been looking up, man.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay. I was in the background just trying to refine one of my points. I'm trying to find a direct statistic, but social media, once it took its rise, there is, I guess you could only say correlative data, but it seems quite causative in my opinion, because Facebook, Twitter, all of them, they exploded in 2009, 2010. Everybody started having them. It wasn't just niche populations in a certain area. They became worldwide platforms. They started becoming commonplace like newspapers. They were everywhere. So there is a noticeable statistic with teens. I'm talking 13 to 18. That's the age group where since 2010, with suicide rates have increased with teens, 80%, which is pretty significant.
So you think that's definitely correlated to social media
Yes.
use?
But I have more. Cutting and self-harm also increased at a rate, I think it was like something
I don't know. I
60%.
think people are just admitting it more now. I think that's the difference.
People
That
are
might
more.
be.
Because I know a bunch of people that used to.
That
do
might
Yeah.
be, but I mean, that's still a showing of it. It's,
But
it's
that's
a
because-
No,
showcase
everything's
of
coming to
it.
like
That's
we're in a
because
woke society. You just got to find out
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
about people nowadays.
But I also-
that's what it seems like.
But I want to say this, though. In preteens, we're talking the population of like 10 to 12, there was an increase of suicides by, it was something like 178%. We're talking
and
United
little ass
States.
kids.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And that's why I want to highlight that.
How are they doing it, man?
And then
Because
for
of
our-
social media, man, they're seeing these
Other
like,
people doing it.
especially young
Oh, they
girls.
could see, so there's access to them seeing it, so they
That
do
too,
it.
yeah.
they think
and
it's
then
acceptable
they- yeah,
and cool,
exactly.
Or they might not know that they're gonna die if they do it.
no,
exactly.
they know,
That's
but
even
They
possible.
might
as
not
well.
know.
Some
They might
kids
not
do
know.
it just for that, like, look what I did, because
I mean, I
nobody's
don't
paying
wanna say
attention.
Social
They do it for
validation.
that attention.
Yep.
They're like, well, if I kill myself, somebody's gonna know who I am. Whereas, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
I
just
don't know. I
because
don't
there's
wanna
these
speak for a
kids
little kid,
getting.
but-
There'll be a kid getting like 79 likes, and then this kid's had, wow, I got 2 likes. Like, you know what I mean?
That's some shit I was talking about earlier. Where
Yeah,
nobody's
man,
got no friends on Facebook. Remember that South Park episode? Got no friends.
Yeah.
There's that one red-haired kid.
Yep. And then he got all the friends at the end.
Yeah.
And he felt great.
I forgot
But
that.
I know that's very negative.
It is
But
very negative.
I want to
but-
mention
No,
it.
but that shit is real.
It's
though.
real.
The Terminators, man.
Yeah.
Terminators.
I just
I'm
want to
not
mention
kidding
it.
about
It's
this
having
shit.
an effect on our kids. Kids are more anxious. Kids are less willing to take risks.
Yep.
What is it to? What are we? You need to have this digital pacifier in your hand all the time, or you can't function. Tell me.
I don't know.
And
I
it,
turned
and
off.
it
I
puts
turned
more
off, 'cause
stress
that-
on
it gave
kids
me
too,
choice.
because they can't go try and do something
Yeah.
goofy or silly because there's a camera on them always.
Yeah.
That's
like,
how I
like
always
if
felt
they
there was a
mess up,
camera
that
on.
shit's being seen by the world in a day.
That's a good point.
So
Yeah.
they can't go and
We are in
they,
this-
they,
we're in this
they
public
feel
space.
like they have to be this certain thing,
And yeah.
and then they get depressed because they can't be themselves because they're scared to be.
Or they think that they need to always be posting, or they're not
I
validated.
don't know. We're thinking for people now. It seems weird.
I
I
can say
don't want to
for
say why
personally-
anybody did anything. I'll just say that.
I can say for personally, I'm just saying it's happening. You know, like
Yeah.
it's
It's a
reflecting.
scary thing, man, because it's like I'm scared for the kids getting on social
Yeah.
media. Especially
Which it-
teenage years, you're going through crazy shit. You don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
You just hit puberty, your fucking mind's going crazy, and then you're constantly worrying about what everybody thinks about you. 'cause
Your
the whole
mind
world
hits
sees you.
puberty. Yeah. You just go fucking crazy.
You do, man. You don't
I
go
know exactly
crazy,
what you're
but
talking
you
about. I
fucking,
know
you know
exactly
what I
what
mean?
you're
That
talking
leads me to a question I wanted to ask everybody, and I would like to hear from fans if we have any yet. Do you think there should be an age limit that's like a law or just in general?
Well, I remember when I signed up for Facebook.
For what,
They
social
wanted you to be
media?
at least
Yes.
13.
like a law.
But
or
there's
something.
no need of proof for 13. Like, when I signed up, I
Yeah.
was 13, but Tom wasn't. And he signed up, and he used my birthday. Like, I remember for a while, I was getting notifications on my birthday. Hey, it's Tom Stanley's birthday because he had an old account. Or, I should bleep out his name, probably.
No.
Sorry,
All
no.
real life.
Vicious
baby.
Wolf 61 on Twitch, follow him.
Yeah, I just want to say this. I didn't say my statistic. It was from 2010 to 2018 with those percentages, and they're not exactly on the money. I'm going to post what they are after in the comments, so you can look at the chart yourself, and you can look at the source and all that stuff, because I want to be credible. Anyways.
Oh, we're credible. Wait, our opinions matter.
Yeah. But I mean, it's something to think about. It's
There's-
crazy.
There's like, so weren't you saying something about anxiety? I want to talk about like, remember how I was saying how they moved like the farm away from us? There's like,
Yeah.
there's like this like microwave culture now. Like think about like a bag of popcorn. Like you don't want to cook it on the stove. Like if you can't pop it open. You can't pop the popcorn in like 2 minutes in the microwave. Just hit a button. Like we totally forgot about like growing spinach or romaine lettuce, you know, and that's what life is, right? Like we should know these things. I feel like.
Yeah, you're saying.
And
we
the
gotta
crazy
wait for
part
plans.
is we have access to all
when the pandemic happened and you couldn't go to the store, nobody in your neighborhood grew food.
Yeah.
That was a problem, right? Like that's the problem. And where did they go? Where is the food? The food is different than it used to be. There's like pesticides and non-GMOs. Like I don't know exactly all the terms, but there's chemicals that they put in it, and they actually genetically mutated the produce to like grow better and be a better shape. The apple is a different shape than it used to be 100 years ago because what we want at the store is like a plump, juicy red apple. Mm-hmm. But like some of the ugliest apples might still taste good, but it doesn't have that look to it. And like you were saying about that monetary like cloud thing, you want that look, you want the like, and especially when it's you too, like the social media, like that's you. You want to portray yourself in the best way
Image
possible.
is becoming everything.
Image, right? For nothing. And if you didn't have a mirror, you wouldn't even know what you looked like. Right? Like think about that.
That's a good quote.
And what?
If you didn't have a mirror, you wouldn't know what you look like.
Yeah.
Right. And but we're always constantly looking at each other and ourselves on like the social media. It's
Forces
a screen.
you to compare.
It's a screen.
It does.
It's a screen.
And that's what does cause that anxiety and depression because you're constantly comparing yourself to everybody. And like I was saying earlier with the teenage girls and shit, they're looking at girls who are using crazy filters.
Right.
And now they're in their room, depressed, don't want to do anything because they don't look like that.
Yeah, they're learning a life where you go
like
to
that
school.
girl get like 100, like I said earlier, she'll get like 100 likes or whatever, and then
people want to, and they don't want to do the work either. Like they want to be this thing, but they don't want to work for it. Like if you want the abs and you want the butt and the glutes and stuff, you gotta work. You gotta like lift weights and get sweaty and like. You can't just like be it. And then we got these filters, like Snapchat got the filters, so like you don't have to look good as long as you get the camera in just the right angle and put the filter on it. You can shave like 100 pounds off yourself, right? Like a girl. Okay, let me not do it because I did it with the Me Too shit last time. I regret it. But. So wait, but I did want to say. Remember we were talking about the millennials and stuff. So our parents' generation, they didn't have the AOL. You said it started in like 97, the 6-leaf thing, 6 degree, whatever. So when they went to a social media event, like it wasn't social media as in it wasn't on the phone, but there was still social media. It was like a movie. They went to the movie
movies,
or they watched the same TV show.
Radio.
So when TV first came out, there was like a few channels and it shut off eventually. You know, like at the night it shut off. It was just nothing. So everybody watched the same thing. So when you showed up at school the next day, you have something to talk about. You could talk about what you seen on Letterman last night or something, right? But now it's all niche shit where like none of us watch the same thing. So and you feel disconnected from that too, where like you've seen something that's your whole world. You put all the clout in the world in it, and now no one else knows that person. So like the thing you love the most, everyone else don't even know. It's like a nothing thought to them, and. So that changed too with the social media where everybody used to see social media the same way, like the Partholon. Everybody saw the same fight. They could go talk about it afterwards.
That is an amazing point. They also bring that up in the Social Dilemma. I love that it came to that point because the machine learning AI, I just want to talk real quick about how the algorithm works.
You need water? Anybody need water?
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
please.
Thanks.
It is a complex set of algorithms that they call artificial intelligence. It's not really a brain, but these algorithms, what they do is they learn what you look at. They record how long you look at things, if you stop, if you're looking at other people's profiles, how long you do this, how long you do that. They even try to predict your mood, and they store it in a file that's called your avatar, and it tries to predict what you like and what you do. And Google and Facebook, they share information back and forth, so they know. Sometimes if you're using Facebook, they know what you Google. So that can affect your order. And
they want you to link them all.
Yeah.
Link with Facebook or link with Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And further, they get your data for free. And that goes back to the quote I was saying. If the product is free, then you must be the product because...
No, the product is the ads. They want to get you to buy the shit on the ad. And if you click through...
But
That's
they
how
get
they
paid
get
for
there.
you seeing those ads.
Yeah.
They get paid when you click through.
No, they get paid when you see them and how long you see them for.
When you
Yes.
click through, they get paid
because
even
they
more.
sell that. Because Google's like, yo, he
It's
Googled
just a
this
look.
today.
They get like a
and
couple
then you
cents.
Because then,
scroll on it,
then
and
you
as soon as-
visited the site.
as
If you
soon-
click
Yeah.
through, you visited the site. That's
Exactly.
it.
They probably get
they
more
get
for
money
that.
for that.
They
Yeah, they
probably
Yeah,
get
get
money
but,
definitely.
and also they
As
will
soon as
get
you
money.
scroll to it, they're like,
Yeah, if you're
Really?
looking at
Yes.
It knows when you've seen it.
Yeah, it records
I don't
everything
know.
you do.
Oh, it's got your whole face with
No,
the
like
camera.
okay, say you're scrolling.
With your camera.
Like,
It will.
probably.
Mine opens with my
Yeah.
camera. I look at
Yeah.
it, it opens.
Say you're scrolling. It will record how long you looked at an image. It will
And it will
record
see
how
your face.
slow
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you scroll. It will record
So if you
every
So what is
little
that?
thing.
What is that screen on though? Like I mean, like it's a. I didn't mean screen. Like you know
I'm
how like
talking
you
like
know
a
how
social
you know
media
how
feed.
you know how like in a computer program you could put a screen on something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so that's part of the screen. You know what
It's
I mean?
part of the app. It's watching and recording what you're doing, and it feeds
But
it
in
back.
what? But in what?
So-
Like in Facebook?
Yeah,
Like so when you're
Facebook,
on
Twitter,
Facebook,
Snapchat,
now,
Google,
now it always
YouTube.
has access to your camera. Or do you have to give it to them?
I'm not saying it's recording your face. It's
Oh.
recording what you're doing.
yeah, it's recording your feed. So
Yeah,
like if
But
you're
who
on
can
Facebook,
watch
if-
that? Oh, an
Nobody
artificial
watches
AI.
It. It's
The
the
AI.
AI.
So it's
Terminator,
it watches
bro.
You, it watches you scroll up, and if you're looking at
It's
an
gonna
ad
freak
of a
out,
fucking
yo.
Jeep,
It's gonna freak out and come
Yeah.
through the screen at us. I seen the shit at Universal, man. I put the little 3D glasses on. That shit came out. It was like that. Remember that like molten? It looked like that clay shit, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about?
But anyways.
you ever seen it?
no.
Oh, you never seen Terminator?
Oh, Terminator, yeah.
Yeah, remember when it turns into like that, like goo, like in what was that? Alexander Mack. Remember she could turn into like a puddle.
Yeah.
I love Nickelodeon.
But
I know. Do you think Nickelodeon could be like a social media? What do you think?
I
mean,
What about
they're-
TV
they're
shows?
watching-
What about a
If we're
magazine?
defining it as something that brings people together, Nickelodeon does kind of bring kids together. Well, at least it did when I was growing up, because everybody would be like, "Yo, did you see this episode of SpongeBob?"
That's a
and we'd
good
all
point. That's what I was
reference
saying
SpongeBob.
about our parents. Like, and now kids. Well, it's kind of like Paw Patrol. I
Kids
guess like
now,
like
kids
Paw
now
Patrol.
these days do no. Like,
Oh, they don't all have the same.
I
method.
literally canceled my cable. They don't watch it. They'd rather watch YouTube. They're gonna watch
Yeah.
some kid play with toys or some kid play video
which
games.
is a good
or,
segue to talking about YouTube wormholes and how they suggest videos to you. I'm sorry I'm talking so much, but I want to explain
I
this
don't
one
think
real
you're
quick.
talking that much.
Oh, man. Flow with it.
When they recommend videos to you, it's based on popularity and, again, ad revenue. And they want to keep you using because they have this thing.
I love that word.
They have this thing called the attention economy. Basically, what they exchange in the attention economy is this thing called human futures. It's a prediction of what you will do, when you will do it, and what may happen. And it sounds very weird and kind of complex, but basically, all these apps are competing for your attention because more attention equals more ad revenue, which equals more, etc. Monetization.
More information.
So they
sharing.
want you all to be on. They want us all to be on all
Facebook
of them. They
wants
want us
you-
to be on
yeah.
everything. They just want us to be. But I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's
But
not a
all-
place.
Yeah,
It's
let me
not a
finish
place.
with the YouTube.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
That's
go
how
ahead.
they make their money, man.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
shit is like off the wall. So
Yeah. And what it does is, okay, the reason I don't like this system is because it does things for, okay, conspiracies,
Yep.
example.
Yeah.
If you like this conspiracy, then you'll like this conspiracy,
Yep.
is what that
Oh, it
AI
links
thinks.
them up.
And then it keeps giving you things that are even more convincing in a conspiracy, so you keep watching it.
That's how.
And
it's
then
believable.
1 month later, you're a
I got
flat earther.
depressing,
Yeah.
and like when you spiral, you'll think like of a bad thought, and then like that thought will turn into like 10 bad thoughts, and then those 10 thoughts all turn into other 10, and like before like a minute, you got like a million bad thoughts, and you're just like on this
Yeah.
huge spiral, and that sounds like that with the conspiracy thing, like that could take you down the way wrong way.
Yeah. For some
You
reason,
know?
as humans, we like negative things. They draw our attention, and the AI have noticed this, and that's why. No, they really have. They're
It's funny though. They're
that's why it's
figuring us out.
and that's
They
what,
know who
That's
to match
scary.
us up with, man.
That is
And
scary.
I want to
Stats.com.
bring up something that Tristan Harris was saying. This guy he wants humane ethics in technology, meaning things that are ethically designed, not manipulatively designed. So this concept he brought up is everyone's scared of the point that AI takes over our population, but we should be more scared of the point when AI tricks our population, which we are at this point, because
Absolutely.
these algorithms are designed for 3 goals. Okay, growth, which is how much time you spend. Engagement, which is how much time you spend. Growth, which is how many times you engage other people, sharing stuff and stuff like that. And then monetization. Now they all
in a money sense, or
yes.
worth
okay. Money,
okay,
direct money.
Okay,
and then they all go towards one goal: getting your attention, more time. So they literally, some of these companies hire psychiatrists and psychology experts to figure out
that's their CEOs and shit.
Yeah, to hack
Product
the human
managers.
brain.
Yeah,
That's what the Twitter we're doing. Hack the human brain to make it more addictive so you get more time. And it's pretty crazy that it's designed to do that.
That's how ads were always made.
Yeah.
Ads always were made to make you feel some type of way. Do you think an ad is a social media? I'm talking like magazine
like
print.
commercials
No,
too.
magazine print. Yeah, commercials too. Like, remember when you were a kid and you saw like a fucking sweet truck, monster truck, and you were like, I gotta get that fucking monster truck. Or like, you get the Toys R Us magazine fold out at like Thanksgiving for Christmas. You're like excited. You're like circling shit. You're like, oh my God. You're like peeing your pants. But, so... these ads, they're set up to make you want that. That's always been like that.
Yeah.
Now you're saying they got AI doing it. Like where it used to be a person like, oh, this, and how the ads were set up is like they would get like a pretty white woman, a magazine ad, or a pretty white woman. This is back in the day because that's how it was, and she would like smoke a cigarette or something, and that would make everybody want to smoke a cigarette because this hot chick is smoking a cigarette. Right?
Not only that, but they made this shit look cool too.
Right, cool
with
cigarettes.
the camel.
Cool cigarettes, man.
Fucking
and
the camel.
Joe Cool, man.
Yeah, man. He's
And I want to pull back.
and candy cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like they gave us candy cigarettes. They were like, here you go. If it's cold outside, it looks like you're actually smoking a cigarette.
When I was a baby in the hospital, when I was just born, you could still smoke in the hospital.
Yeah.
My grandma was like, yo, I was holding you in one arm and smoking a cigarette in the other. And I was like, for real? She was like, yeah, man. And this is 33 years ago. You know? It's different.
Yeah, man.
It's different.
I want to bring up
Can't even smoke in a car now.
one point.
Really?
Yeah,
it's
a
illegal.
law.
Shut up.
No, seriously.
No.
There's a kid in the car under the age of 18.
I love
you
that
can't
Dave
smoke.
Chappelle smokes a cigarette anywhere. I love that.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. Snoop Dogg can smoke a blunt anywhere. He doesn't care either.
But
It's medicinal.
I want to pull back to that thing I was talking about. We should be scared to the point where AI is tricking us because there is this.
What do you mean by tricking us, though? To buy shit? Tricking us to buy
no,
shit?
to use social media more, not to buy shit. Because
No, then it doesn't make any money.
Yeah, it does.
yes, it does by ad revenue.
Because you're going to keep
You're not
scrolling.
buying anything. Who
But
bought it?
it's ad
Somebody
revenue.
has to buy this stuff.
Okay, you know how Netflix or
They
like,
literally get paid as soon as you scroll to an ad. They're like,
they
start
get
the
like
timer.
they get like 4 or
No,
5
you don't
cents.
get what I'm saying. Okay, you have to buy something. The ad is only effective if you
Yeah,
buy
the
something.
sponsor buys the ad and pays
yeah.
Facebook.
So like,
Yeah.
you see a gain ad like 1,000 times on Facebook.
they
And
get
then when
that's
you
still
go to the store,
$5.
no. And then when you go to the store, and you're standing at the thing, you're gonna think to yourself like, "What was cool?" Like
Yeah.
you'll think of a commercial you saw for Tide, or you'll think of like when you go to buy the shit. They were advertising at us when we were kids. So like when we were watching TV, Nickelodeon and shit, they had the commercials, right? And it would be like. They were telling us then what to buy. When we get to the store, we weren't even ready to get to the store yet. We're just a little kid, right? But we're watching this TV and
we know what we
they're
want.
putting Tide commercials on us. They're putting like Hanes commercials on us, so that when we are 18 and we gotta get our own shit, we go buy them socks. That's Hanes brand, or we go buy and you don't even know what happened. It's been happening our whole life.
Yeah, it's
you hear it
subliminal.
in the radio. You just hear stuff, the tones. That's why, like, sometimes I get home, I just sit right here. I don't even turn nothing on. I just sit, and it's just like. But like all the noise, I got to keep my phone on vibrate because the tones drive me insane.
But
I don't know.
I want to get back to my point that I was going to end on.
My bad. I see I went off
Yeah.
away.
Is the AI is just trying to get your attention. It's not about the AI doesn't know anything. It's just programmed to do something. It just and its task is to make your attention. That's its task. The creator is the one who gets the money. It's not the computer.
What do you mean by the creator? The person who's
The
on
guy
it?
who types up all the algorithms so the computer does the job. Like the
So
the
what about the
coding.
guy that gets the million views that gets paid?
He keeps the
He
money.
gets paid.
Who bought, how, like, who
He gets
bought
paid
shit?
because he's
Okay.
pulling in people to watch.
Hold on.
But
I think
who bought shit?
I will tell you. The advertiser pays for the ad. And every time it gets viewed, the contract
Think
says...
about like a billboard.
Hold on.
How do you know if it's effective?
No one does. But I'm just saying
They
that's
think
how it
it's
works.
effective because they see you keep returning.
That's how they get money. They don't care. That
Every
it's
time you
effective.
open that app, they're happy.
But then, the person that's like whose ad it is getting fucked. Then
Yeah, but they don't care. That's not
Because
social
they
media.
might get
who
some
doesn't
sales.
care? The guy whose ad it is cares, or who's
Yeah,
the product
but-
is.
They
But
probably
social
sell
media
more
doesn't
things.
care.
They probably sell more.
Yeah. But anyways, to get back to my
gotta
point.
think,
Somebody's
click
got
on
to
those
buy
ads.
some. I think the ad
Well,
only works if
it
somebody
pro-
buys something.
Yeah, it probably does. But I'm just saying that's social media's money. That's where they get their money from. Because it's free. Facebook's free.
Yeah.
Twitter's free. That's where they get their money. But anyways,
They get their money.
They
by
thought
you.
I thought you said they sell our information.
yeah, they do that too. That's
Oh,
another
so they
way.
just they double dipping, man.
Yeah, man.
They're,
This
they're
is a Wildcat Bank right here.
It should be illegal.
This is
It's
a
like
Wildcat Bank.
quadruple dipping.
Let me say this about subsidies. I think
Hold on,
I
let me
think
make
the
my
internet.
point.
Okay, go ahead.
I was saying that point of when AIs start tricking us. Like, they trick us to do it to more attention. It's not a big trick. But there will be a point when they will distort our reality to a point we don't know.
You don't
that
think
it's
that's
di-
already now? You
Yes,
don't think that's
I'll
already
get
now?
to that. To a point they distort reality where we cannot tell the difference between the false reality they're presenting us and the real reality. That is something that's seriously possible in the next
When the
couple-
store shut down, there was no food in your neighborhood.
Huh.
That's what he's talking about. That's what he's saying. There wasn't any food.
There wasn't.
Who grew it? There wasn't any cows.
It doesn't matter what anybody says on Facebook, there's no food.
Right.
Yeah.
It comes in on a truck.
But
It
that's
comes
the
in
point.
from somewhere we don't know.
At the beginning of the pandemic, I remember being a little scared. Like,
Do
is
we
this
have enough
really
food?
going to be like the end of the shit right now? Because it was scary at the beginning. We thought a lot more people than were
I know.
going to die than actually
And think
did.
about this.
That's why gun sales went up, dude. Because they were like, what happens when the store runs out of food? I got to be able to protect my food and my family.
And I want to say
So you
this.
think you said gun sales went up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
gun sales, dude. Like, if you're in the gun business
Don't
right now,
take my
you're
guns.
banking
Stay
out.
away from our guns.
Dude, a lot of people bought them though because
Yeah.
what if food ran out?
Yeah.
And your neighbor don't grow food, you don't grow food, but he just ran out of food, and he's gonna come over here knocking with his gun to see what you got because he needs
Right.
to feed his family now.
And,
I remember that
why
being a
is
real
it a
fear at
fight
the
though?
beginning
But
of
why
this.
is it a fight? Like if you got enough food for you and your family and you got extra,
But
why
if he
is-
just runs out,
Why
he ain't
isn't
gonna
why
come
isn't he
ask you.
invited though? If it was your neighbor, right? Like, isn't it fucked up that like we
Yeah.
would go rob our neighbor instead of
Yeah,
just like,
dude.
yo, we could like in the Texas thing fucked me up too in the head because like it's like we're in 2020, right? And like people died because power went out. And,
2021.
and 2021 we're in. I don't even know what day it is. But people died
Happy
because
early
the
St.
power
Patrick's
went
Day.
out. Like I can't understand that like mentally like that where was their neighbors? Like how did they I don't understand. Like if it was too cold you
It
put
was
more clothes
poor
on.
infrastructure.
The
They weren't ready
it's a
for that.
wildcat system of power down there. So like you
Yeah.
could it's not all National Grid. Like we're all National Grid. If something falls down, National Grid fixes it. So everything fucked up, right? There's like 5 different National Grid companies there. So they didn't have like a main grid. So the power companies would show up and be like, "Oh, that's not even our line." And like, how is this going to get fixed, right? Because they started selling away the subsidies. So that's what I was trying to talk about with the subsidies. I think the subsidies should be more in like the internet and in the gas and in the electric distribution to us as a customer. It would be better. We all use it, right? Like everybody that's in the country uses this.
And needs
This
it.
should be a subsidy, the government part, in my opinion, because right now we're getting like crazy delivery fees that we shouldn't be getting. Everybody on your block is getting a crazy delivery fee for electric and gas, and like the stuff is already there. The lines are out. Like I'm sure we got to maintain them, but they're falling apart. Like when are we gonna fix them? That should be a government thing, in my opinion. I don't know how that relates to social media, but
Side rant.
we should put that on social media. I don't even have one. Maybe I gotta get back on social
Yeah.
media.
I want to make a quick point.
I don't want to. The double-edged sword.
A final point.
Final point.
With social media,
Yeah, we're close.
polarization is becoming a serious issue. Like things like cancel culture, Dems versus Republicans, anti-vaxxers versus people who believe, people wearing masks versus people not wearing masks, BLM versus whatever.
It's
Right.
everybody versus everybody.
Yeah.
Why aren't we community?
It's because
The
We're
people
separate
win. When the
communities.
people come
That's-
together, that's when we win. We
Exactly.
win. We win
Solidarity.
when we
But-
win when we all come together. We don't win when we all fight. That's when we lose.
But
Right? Think
positivity
about it.
rarely gets views. But if they can pin you against somebody else, they're gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna show you
It's easy
stuff
to sell
about
that.
this. I'm gonna show
They
you
can put-
stuff
they can
about
stack-
this,
they can
and then
stack
they're gonna
ads
let
on
other
that.
people see it, so they come in and start arguing.
And then they can stack.
People
ads
like
on
to
it.
argue, yeah, of course.
So they'll be like, wait, we're about to show you this epic fight, but there's 15-second ad first, and then like you could skip it after 5 seconds. You know that shit I'm talking about?
Yeah. And they get like
They got you, bro.
Got you.
And then like you'll be interested in something right before it's about to pop off. Say it's like a 10-minute long thing, and then like 7 minutes it's about to go in. Boom, ad, got you, and you gotta watch the whole thing, and you're like, ah. I hate that. I hate ads. I think we're like almost at an hour.
yeah.
Well, I just wanted to make one quick point.
Yeah,
though.
make some points.
So
I just want to throw a time out there.
you're good, man. You're good. But so with that first social media I was talking about earlier, the 6 Degrees, they peaked at 3.5 million users. Today, on Facebook, well, in 2020, this ad was not this ad. This was taken on January 27th, 2021. Actually, okay, so 1.69 billion on Facebook.
Users?
Yeah, and I just think that's obviously it's attributed to everybody having a phone these days.
That's worldwide, probably, right?
But
Yes.
yeah, worldwide. Yep,
Every country
every country.
except for North Korea.
It connected us, but we'll still rob our neighbor if the food runs out.
Yep. I wanna make
Because
one
we don't know
final
him.
point.
We don't know our neighbor because we're on social media,
Yeah.
talking, being with people that
We
we
don't know
already
our
know from
neighbor,
back
but
when.
we
We never even see them.
Yep.
And the people that live next
Sure.
door, we see them every day. We don't know
I
their
want to
name.
make one final point on that. I think it goes back to this. Okay, there's an American philosopher named Noam Chomsky. He predicted this in 2003 or 2004 it was. They called it the isolation bubble. And it's the idea that when you're getting fed things you like to see, you'll stay there and you'll be complacent. You don't want to challenge. You don't have any reason to be anything more than easygoing. And then you get stuck in this bubble where you don't see other people's opinions, you don't see other stuff, so you don't want to do it because it's so nice to be in your comfort zone all the time. And social media is having this effect on certain people that use it a lot.
That's where cancel culture really comes in, though, because you know what I mean.
And I just wanted to say that because I see it, I've experienced it, and
I see it everywhere, man.
you can't be that. You can't close discussion. Everybody has discussion. You can't cancel somebody for one thing in their past. I know, even if it's horrible, you gotta let them speak so that they don't speak in private, dude. If you allow Nazis to, you keep not letting them say their bullshit, they're just gonna do it in private. People are gonna be racist, man. I know it sucks. I wish it wasn't that way, but there's always that person. There's always that group. There's always evil. You can't totally get rid of it. It's just human nature for whatever reason. Those people are terrible. I agree. But, would you rather see it or would you rather have it hide? Because if you keep canceling and making people ashamed of certain things, then they're going to start doing it in private, which usually leads to worse things. It's just like not having regulations on something, Then what happens? Crime takes over. They regulate it because there's nobody regulating it.
I think we need to stop this whole canceling the shit from the past. Aside from, like, the people, like, those creeps, raping and all that bad, like, fucking, they need to be in jail for life, for sure. But, like, stupid, like I was saying on the last podcast, the movie Grease. Mm-hmm. Like, that took place in a different time period.
Yeah, you got to preserve it so we remember. You'll forget the past.
They're
if you
literally
erase
trying
it.
to cancel history. And in history, I remember the first thing we learned about history was you're being taught this, so it doesn't happen again.
Exactly.
And we're trying to completely erase it because a few people don't like it. Because it's not even the majority that don't like it, and that's a part of cancel culture.
Just don't
It's
look
this
if you don't
small
like
group that's big because they're all out there at once. Whereas without social media, they'd be like one in a room of 20. And he won't say nothing because everybody else is like, dude, you're crazy. Now that gets brought, like these people get
Amplified.
brought together because of social media. So I guess it is connecting them in a way, but
It's amplified.
it's very amplified.
I think there's like an art in. You want to bring up movies? It's like there's art. Like you can't change it. Like what are we gonna change Scarface because he's a gangster? You got
to tell
It's
it
like-
accurately.
It's just art. It's not even.
Art
it's
is
not even
raw.
about if it's accurate or not. It's a movie, right? Like that's art.
Yeah.
the same thing with like music too. Like if you cancel music, like how can you do that? It's just art. Like it's someone.
Right.
That's how someone feels. So like if you don't like it, just like you said, don't pay attention.
Just don't listen.
But
Don't
it's
click
art.
on it.
You just got to stop not thinking that it's art because it is. It's
But-
someone's expression of how they felt. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's just how they feel. Like
And
how,
also-
how would you like it if I came and told you? You can't say how you feel. You know?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
That's
in my
what.
opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But that's how it was in the past because they would say this, and it'd be one in a few that say it, and everyone's like, "Dude, just you're talking crazy."
Just make different
But
shit.
all
Like if
these
you don't
people
like how
came
it was
together-
then, make your shit, right?
Yeah.
Like if it'd be like
It's
that's
easier
the
just to
that's
get
the
rid of it.
progressive part of it. Like you make new shit, like and that could give you ideas. Maybe someone saw Grease and they didn't like it, and they made a new movie that was like a better one, you know.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
still art, though. You
Yeah.
know, at the end of the day, it's an art.
You know, what it serves as, in my opinion, is something to remind you that we can do better. That's why you shouldn't change it. That's why you shouldn't erase it. It's okay maybe not to bring it up as much or condone it or stand behind it if it's a symbol of whatever, sexism, racism, whatever. But it's another thing to erase it because if you erase it, then you won't see how far we've come, man. Just don't look at it. Just don't promote it. Don't support it. You can say you don't like it. You can tell someone, I don't want to see that.
That's
if
your
you're in the
opinion.
room."
And my uncle said, "Don't look back, only look back to see how far you've come." I like that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude,
It's
Billy.
coming.
I was gonna say that's.
Before I go, I want to give a shout out and a mention to an entertainment company that goes above and beyond. Real Glitch Entertainment. They're talented, they're passionate, and they're dedicated staff.
Dedicated
They
staff.
offer comedic sketches, movies, and other various media content. I'm also featured as an extra in several of their projects, and that is not a conflict of interest. Real Glitch Entertainment! Kablooey.